Hi, I'm Jesy Herron, host of Rediscover Your Story, a podcast for marketers who need a break from everyday learning, but still want to hear from like-minded professionals on all things creative. Today, we have Gina Rittinger, and she decided to flip the script. So stay tuned to rediscover my story. All right, Gina.
Yes.
Welcome back to Rediscover Your Story. So excited to have Gina Rittinger here today with us. Can't wait to chat with you.
I am looking forward to this discussion very much, Miss Jesy.
Good.
However, I have been talking about having you share your story. So I would really love to flip the script on you today and be the one that's interviewing you.
I have to sit in the hot seat.
You have to sit in the hot seat, my friend.
I've never done this before.
I think it will be amazing.
Okay.
All right.
Let's switch.
All right. I am so excited to flip the script on you today.
This
Jesy.
is weird. This is weird, by the way.
No, it's great. So tell our audience, Jesy, a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Oh my gosh. Who am I? Okay. I am a lot of things. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a cheer coach. I'm a volunteeraholic. I like to see problems solved, and that's kind of a problem for me because I dig my nose into problems and like to see them solved. I am a vice president of client partnerships here at Resolve, so that has been a fun adventure for the last little over 4 years. I've come in and helped kind of change the trajectory of the company, which is hard, but exciting. And I run a podcast that you get to be the host of today.
Love it. Love it. All right. So I am an over-preparer,
Okay.
as you know.
Yes.
So
And I'm a winger, so let's wing it.
I did prepare questions for you today.
Okay, good.
So the first one, looking back at your early career,
Yep.
what pivotal experience,
Okay.
maybe even something expected, shaped your path into digital marketing, storytelling, the work that you're doing today? And was there a moment in your career where you're like, this is it? This is where I should be?
Yeah, so it's kind of a fun story. I nannied for a family for a really long time, and you're probably thinking that's a weird way to start. But the family that I nannied for, the dad owned a printing company. And I think we've talked about this before, but it's kind of funny how a lot of people in a marketing field start either in like PR or print, honestly. Yeah, right? Like newspaper or print. So I started working at the printing company and, was just kind of growing up there and went to an American Marketing Association meeting. And on the board, there was a man by the name of Mark Miller. And at the time, the president, Pat Frew, was like, hey, Jesy, you've been kind of growing up in this printing company, but you are kind of looking for something more. You should meet Mark Miller. He is the founder and owner of a digital company. And so Mark and I meet, and we just talked, and he was like, I think I'm going to hire you. And I was like, to do what? Okay, let's do it. So I joined that digital company, and it definitely was that point in my career where I felt like all the pieces and parts of the puzzle of school and marketing and journalism and just all of the experiences that I had led up to me joining this digital company and kind of carving my own path there. And what I realized was I love working with I love working at a small company. I love being a part of something bigger that I feel like I'm able to help and grow. And I spent 12 years growing there, growing that company, growing in my own skills, and really falling in love with digital marketing. Yeah, everything digital.
And that is where I had the wonderful opportunity to meet you 7 years ago.
Which is crazy.
And we found out how much we had in common.
Yes.
We met for coffee.
Yes.
And I went to work for a small firm, which I'm still at today, Ready
Yeah.
Cincinnati, doing regional economic development, which I love. But I
Yeah.
remember 7 years ago, I walked into that seat like, I have no idea what I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
And you were one of the first introductions for me at that company.
Yeah.
And I just remember feeling like I knew you forever.
Yeah.
In fact, I was reflecting back. I had just finished up reading the book by Bob Iger.
Oh,
And you and I were,
I'm obsessed with Bob
you
Iger.
finished it?
Yes, I think he's the hottest ever old man out there. Sorry to Willow, his wife. Yes, I know her name.
But it was such a great book. But
Yeah.
my point there is that I felt like as I was really trying to find my way
Yeah.
in what the strategic vision needed to be and the marketing direction needed to be for that organization, you were right there beside me. So I'm really grateful for that. And we started this really amazing friendship.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. No, I remember we were at Sleepy Bee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at
Yes.
Sleepy Bee. And I just remember sitting there thinking oh my gosh, everything you're saying, I was like, yes, I want to be a part of that. Yes, I love to be a partner. And I think that's the other thing is that I never feel like I have clients. I don't actually love the idea of having clients. I love the idea of partnering with people, letting them think that I'm an extension of their team because that's what I love to do. I love to literally physically roll up my sleeves and just jump right in. What are the problems? And I think that maybe that's just having great enthusiasm. I don't know, but I think that enthusiasm has gotten me in spaces and places and at tables where I probably didn't really have any business being there, but I was willing to roll up my sleeves and jump in. So
As you think about the fact that you've been leading client partnerships for years, also leading creative strategy here with the Resolve team, what would you say that you learned in going from tactical to true strategic visioning, planning?
Yeah. Well, I think that it's one of those things where when you think tactical, right? You're just straight into the weeds. I feel like you're just constantly reacting. And I think that when I was able to really understand what it meant to be more strategic, it does take me time to not want to fix everything right away, but to try to elevate myself from the situation, and not necessarily admire the problem from the microscopic lens, but try to pull myself out of it and find a solution. So I think that I don't know if there was a moment in which it kind of came to me, but I think it was just a matter of being able to be in these opportunities that I've been in and watch other people do what I was thinking was the greatest thing ever, watching other strategists, other partners that I could watch at the table and be like, oh, they didn't just jump in and answer the question. They said, let me take a minute to think about it. And everybody was okay with them taking a minute to think about it. And so those were lessons that I felt like I've learned. And I think I apply now. And I hope that I'm teaching my team now, you don't have to respond right away. In fact, I want you to think about this. And I want you to come back to me with maybe some thoughts about your answer, right? And I also try to do that with how I structure my week, honestly. So, I really believe in blocking time to think.
Me too.
And right, it's
Yes.
so important.
And I have to block it and be intentional
Have
about
to
it.
be intentional about it. And I try to also surround myself with good partners within any company that I'm in. And right now, I think our owner is a good partner, Scott, and his wife Leanne. And they allow me to have that time where I'm I have got to be at home on Tuesdays so that I am away from the business so that I can think of things. But I probably annoy my team because by the end of the day, I'm this idea, this idea, this idea, this idea, right? Or poor Bailey, we have teams and I'll talk text to the teams on my way to work or, when I'm getting ready or whatever. And I'm hey, you don't have to deal with this right now. But when you get to the office, here's my brain dump. But I feel like growing up, saying you need time to think, giving yourself that time and that space to think, blocking that time on your calendar, I think has been a huge part of being able to be more strategic.
And two things. I think you're incredibly gifted at being able to be at the 50,000 foot level and really see the bigger picture. But the other piece that I genuinely love about you, you are not afraid to get into the weeds, roll your sleeves up, work and help hand in, side by side with your team.
Yeah.
And I think that makes you an incredible leader and also an incredible partner. So when I think about thought partners, you are certainly one of those people for me.
Yeah.
And I hear you when you say, you're firing off probably all the emails with the comments and the questions. And it's funny, Jay Brock, one of my partners at Ready, he's like, "Oh, Gina, I know you've been having the moments, like you've been thinking." So, but I appreciate the fact that he is always open to my crazy ideas.
Yeah.
And like, okay,
right.
let's do this.
Yeah.
So I always love that I'm able to run those things by you.
Thank you. Yeah.
But you said something that caught my attention. I love that you said the fact that you will send these emails off and you'll have expectations, and you shared that, you would send something to Bailey and be like, think about this when you get in.
Yeah.
Protecting that work-life balance and the time for family, time for friends. Tell me a little bit about how you help your team find time to enjoy life and not always be work focused.
Oh my God. First of all, this is like actually more uncomfortable than I thought it was, because I'm like, this is so weird. I normally get to ask all these questions. So I'm just going to say that. Okay. How do I think about that? Well, I love to be active, and I am a full energy, probably, running a million miles an hour. I tell people all the time, and I actually warn people that I work with, that I am a freight train. I have one speed, and it is go full throttle. But I realize that that's not everybody's speed, and I've learned that over the years. And so I tell people all the time, make sure you stop me if you need to ask questions, right? But again, I recognize that that is not everyone else's speed. And I don't know, I don't want this to sound like I'm bragging, but like, I feel like I'm really empathetic. I'm not emotional, but I'm empathetic, and I really try to put myself in people's shoes. So like younger team members, hell, everyone's younger than me here except for Scott, but all of the team is young. And so these younger team members, I try to remember like, gosh, how did I handle that situation when I was their age and their position? And yeah, like I've always worked at these smaller agencies where we didn't have to work 60 or 80 hours to show our worth. Why would I make any of my team members do that? Like, that's not the way that I was brought up in the agency world. Like when you grow up in agency, I didn't work for the large agency that expected that. I would never expect that of my team. But I will say that there are moments and there are opportunities in which we're like, hey, this big thing came up. Is everybody on board? Can we do this together? And yeah, I mean, I want to show them that I'll work just as hard, right? Like,
yes.
I think this is a great example where Bailey and I recognized that one of our team members was getting overwhelmed with the amount of work that needed to be done before a vacation. And so it was one of those things where I kind of went to her and she went to me, and we were kind of looking at each other at the same time. Like, how do we help this person get on vacation? Because this is really important for them to take a break. And so we came back to the office and we were like, tell us what you want us to do. I don't understand your job necessarily, but if you can boss me around, I'm happy to do the thing, right? Like I can fully be bossed around. And I just think that that's important to show. Like, not only is it important to show that that team member can have the break and should get out and go on their vacation, like it's vacation. But I want Bailey to see that, like, sometimes we have to do that as people in the roles that we're in. Like, just we have to support our team. So I don't know.
I think that's great that you definitely walk the talk with the team. And yeah, I mean, we have that conversation a lot too. And there are times when we have to work really hard.
Yeah.
But we have to remind each other to also play really hard.
Yeah.
And I think Reddy does a great job with that. And I can certainly relate to your comment about your freight train because
Yeah.
my pace is fast, as you know.
Yes.
And we had a younger, newer employee join the team. And I remember sitting down with her, Selena, and saying, all right, you've been here a couple months. Do you want me to continue to have you on the sidelines or do you want to run?
Yeah.
And she said, I want to run.
Good.
And I said, are you sure? Because I am full speed. And she's like, I'm
Do you
ready.
feel like you protect too a lot? Like
I do. I try.
I try.
I try. I may not always be perfect, but I want them to enjoy the work that they do. I want them to find the things that fill their tank, fill their bucket.
Yep.
I had a really great coach earlier in my career, Jay Messer, who spent a lot of time talking to me about what fills your tank, what's depleting you. Write those words. Think about truly what you need to feel rejuvenated, empowered, and strong in the role that you are at, because it will also make you a better person in your personal life, a better mom, a better partner, a better friend, a better daughter,
leader, a better,
I kind of wanted to be that all-in holistic person. So I think that's why you and I relate so much to each other. We have such shared thoughts around leadership.
I think we also had a very similar career trajectory in a way.
Yeah. PTSD from agency life.
Yes.
Sleeping on my floor, sleeping on couches in printing offices while I was waiting for jobs to get done.
A million paper cuts because I screwed up a job. So I was like, if I screwed it up, I better go back there and fix it and cut
cutting comps and assembling.
Yes. And oh God, going in on a Saturday at the print shop, hi guys, I'm here. I'm the one that totally screwed up this whole print job. So I'm going to cut for you. And they're just like, I don't know if I want to teach you how to use the cutter. And I'm like, nope, I'm here. I'm ready to cut. It was the worst. I learned a lesson. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's talk about the fact that you've named this podcast Rediscovering Your Story, right? And storytelling in general.
Yes.
And in this work that you're doing, how has your own thoughts around storytelling evolved? Particularly going from a digital agency to this line of work with video and visual storytelling in this way.
Yeah. Well, I'll say when I first was made aware of Resolve, which I had never heard of the company before, and actually we'll be 10 this year. So that's really exciting for Scott and Leanne. And
I better get an invitation to a 10-year celebration.
Yeah, well, we better have a big ass 10-year celebration. I'll put that out there.
Yes.
Yeah, Scott. Hello, Scott. But I had never heard of it before. And I gotta be honest, I thought that digital was just everything. And when I thought of video, I was like, oh man, it's archaic. I think video production is just not done well, right? Someone's being charged an arm and a leg and they're not really given much to work with. And so how do you storytell when you're only given one piece of maybe 60 seconds of content? But I will say, I have learned that there's a lot of ways to tell stories. And I think in this medium, in video, storytelling is making a dramatic, comeback in a way, right? So you've got large companies that have been pushing product, pushing brand, and making sure that there's impressions. But people want stories. They want to feel like they're part of something. They want that authenticity. They want transparency. They want to be entertained. So storytelling has really been a major push. And I think that Resolve does a great job with it. I think that we try to understand at the crux of everything that we do is, what are you trying to tell your audience? What journey do you want them to go on with you? So it's no longer just a push of a 15-second piece of content or a 60-second commercial. It's how do we tell this bigger story? And so we're looking actually at all these different trends in video and it's kind of humbling when you work with, again, younger people and they're like, well, that's not how we tell stories anymore, right? But thinking about like these journalistic trends, we've been talking about it. We're working with a client who wants us to come to them with some trendy ideas and what's going to work in 2026. And a lot of people are journaling again. They're storytelling. Everybody wants to tell their own story. They want to hear stories. So I think that that's just, I don't know. It's a fun way to really think about our medium right now.
And I think about my own sons, they're both college age, and the way that they share their stories. I've got one that he does it through music.
Yes.
And then I have another one that he's doing videos and he's sharing his thoughts, and I'm so proud of him and having courage to share his story more widely. But he also writes and shares through lyrics.
Yes.
Like, he may not be playing the guitar like Josh, but Noah is also pouring his thoughts and feelings into these lyrics. And I just look at both of them and I just love how they tell those stories. And maybe I don't express it very often, but when they tell me, it's like I get this little peek into their souls and what they're really feeling. And I love that.
Yes. And they're not necessarily relying on AI to tell it, right? So I think that that's where I love AI. So I'm not going to dump on AI or anything like that. But I think it's where the storytelling then separates you from maybe that AI sort of like, I don't know. My daughter is 14 and she'll be like, that's AI. Anything, like we're watching something on Instagram.
I have to ask Noah or Josh sometimes, and they're like, "This is totally AI,
that's
Mom."
Totally AI,
like,
And I'm like, well, now you're just like not trusting anything. Like, that's not the way to live either. But I think,
but they're right.
But they're right, yeah. But to your point, like the fact that you can see your son, like, writing in a journal or having some writing, I love that, and I think that that's an important thing that. Maybe some generations have lost, but it's a lost art that I think could come back. And
Do you remember when we were in school and the teacher would make us take a piece of paper out and just be like, you need to write for 10 minutes.
Yes.
Write about whatever you want. I mean,
writing prompt or whatever.
Yeah, we just don't spend that time. And it is such a great exercise.
Oh, now I have a new idea for my team. Monday morning meetings, maybe we'll do like a quick writing prompt.
It's a 2-minute prompt.
A 2-minute prompt.
Just write for 2
Yes.
minutes.
Yeah. I know. I think that'd be kind of fun, actually.
I think it might be kind of fun too.
And it'd be challenging for me too. Yeah.
We need to make a pact.
Let's
do
could
that.
you imagine me telling Scott he has to write for 2 minutes? I mean, he won't even be quiet for 2 minutes, but like.
So I think about a project that we recently wrapped with the Resolve team, and it was really telling the story of a really complex topic.
Yes.
Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Foreign Trade Zone.
46 and 47.
Yeah. How does that work?
Yeah.
And previously we were using talking heads and talking about a really dry subject with just people talking at the camera.
Yeah.
And the Resolve team came back and said, what if we animate this? We make this more of a watch and learn versus just talking at the viewer. And I think that was the best advice and great guidance. And I love the videos that wrapped. And I know our board was really happy about that. So I think it's really wonderful that the Resolve team also thinks about how do you deliver a really simple message around something so complex?
Yeah.
It might not be an emotional story like some of the other work that you've been doing on the Coaches series, for example.
Right.
So that's great.
You're my hype girl. I love this. Yeah. Well, okay, but real quick on that project.
Yes.
Was it Larissa or Angela? One of them was like, my mom now understands what I'm working on. Now,
Angela,
yes, that was probably the biggest compliment. Like I jumped out of my office and I was like, Bailey, did you see that email? Right? Like those are the things that make me excited. That fills my cup. That fills my tank. It's just, maybe that seems silly, but I was like, somebody who maybe didn't understand what she was doing in her like everyday life now understands. Yay, that's exciting.
It is. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that kind of segues into, most of your guests are talking about their stories.
Yes.
Now you're getting to do that on this other side of the mic.
Yes.
What question do you wish that I would ask you?
Oh my God.
What would you want to ask your audience member?
Like, what would I want someone to ask of me?
Mhm.
Ask me? Oh,
What do you want to share
What do I
with
wa-
your audience?
I mean, I'm an oversharer, so like nothing is really off limits.
This is a little Jesy storytelling moment.
It is a Jesy storytelling moment. Maybe, I mean, have you ever been on a reality TV show before? Yes. I was
Do people know this about
picked
you?
to be a cast member on a reality TV show. Have you, well, I'm trying to think of other things.
You can't leave that. You need to tell the story.
Yeah, it was, okay, so I thought I was going to be famous when I was younger. Okay, so what was your major before you actually did marketing? It was theater. So I thought I was going to be famous.
Okay, there's one of your questions.
Yeah, right. There's one of my questions. And I remember being at Bowling Green and my dad being like, "Hey girl, what you gonna do with that theater major of yours?" And I was like, "I'm gonna be famous like Julia Roberts, Dad." Like that was my answer when I was 19 years old. But you know, then I realized like I need to make money, and like you, I am the first person in my family to go to college. I'm the only person in my family to have gone to college. So in a way, I felt this underlying pressure to be successful. Like I felt like I had to be the one to carry the weight for everybody else. And, you know, I have two younger brothers, and my middle brother is successful in his own right. And my younger brother has special needs. So he's, you know, more on the IDD spectrum. So, you know, but so I felt like I had to kind of change course, which is what changed me from theater more into marketing. And then I came home from school. But this opportunity came up, and my dad and his cousin were like, "Jesy, you would be perfect for this reality show. They're coming to Cincinnati to do casting. You should try out for it. It is going to be a reality show with stock car racing. So you have to learn how to drive a stock car." And I was like, "Got it. I know how to drive a stick shift. Check. I like driving fast. Check. I have a big personality. Check." So did the thing, did the casting.
Didn't wreck a car.
I did not wreck a car. I did
good.
have to go kind of train with a few people and like learn a little bit about stock cars. And it is different than driving your Honda Prelude, I will tell you that. And at the time, there was a going away party. You probably could look it up. I don't know. There was like the news was there. We were at Brazen Head, which was this like bar restaurant in Westchester. This is really diving into some embarrassing moments here. Yeah, the show flopped. So you will not find me on the actual physical show, but you might find me in like a news story maybe.
So you were meant to come back and work
Do this.
at Resolve.
Yeah, work at Resolve.
Yeah.
Do the podcast.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So another question, now that
Okay.
we know a little more of the inside dirt on Jesy.
Yeah, there's some dirt.
You know, I spend all of my time and really my career connecting place to business,
Yes.
right? And you're really talking about connecting business to human,
I love B to H.
right?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. I think everybody gets caught up in, oh, this is a B2B organization or this is a B2C organization. And people like to categorize things that way. And I think it's business to human. I think that even a B2B tech consulting company can have sexy content, right? Because at the end of the day, you still have to sell to somebody. Somebody has to engage with your content. They have to fall in love with whatever you're talking about. So, so I think it's a business to human world out there. I think that everything that we do at Resolve, and we do a lot. We do a lot for nonprofits. We do a lot in higher education. I feel like this is like a mini infomercial. We do a lot in like B2B tech, a lot of really confusing technical jargon, right? We helped with the FTZ.
Right.
But somebody, Angela's mom, has to know what we're talking about at the end of the day in order to feel like they're engaged and feel like they're a part of it. So that's business to human. It's
And
important.
outside of Angela's mother, because that's
Yes.
definitely a demonstration of success.
Correct.
How do you measure success? What does that look like
Yeah.
at the end of the project?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's hard. Sometimes we just, if you look at just like hard measure, like just the results, just numbers, right? If you just look at numbers, then you are relying on your client to help relay, like, how was that? We did a video to help promote OTR with 3CDC, and timing is weird. It happened like we were filming literally the same weekend that some of the national news that wasn't so great had come out. So timing was kind of everything. I feel like that's been my whole life. But you know, we were able to make sure that those videos were out there for them quickly, and you know, it's on the LED boards downtown, and so we do rely on our partners to come back and tell us what were the results. But the first line of results are we making our clients happy? Because at the end of the day, we want to be that extension to their team. And if we can make them look like the hero in the story, if I can make Emily at 3CDC look like a hero because she found resolve and she brought us to the table and we did the dang thing for her without any problems. We kept it on time. We kept it on budget. We went above and beyond, which I think our team did.
Yeah.
And just, really killed it for her. Then to me, her walking out of this office after seeing the video for the first time and smiling, that is success to me.
Yeah.
Kind of on the flip side, one of our team members, Molly, she's working on the Great Living Cincinnatian videos. And
I will be there. I will be at the dinner.
oh, well, I cannot wait for you to see these videos because Molly's been working on them for several years. And every year I think, how can she make these get any better? Right. And she does. And this year it's the same thing. Like we have kind of the same format, but like she made some real great creative decisions. And it was her empowerment and leadership that she just made the decision on her own and sent us the videos. And I ran down those firehouse stairs. I think there's like 17 of them. And I was like, Molly, these are amazing. And her smile and her confidence, that to me is a measurement of success.
Yeah.
Right. But that's why it's the human business. It's all about being human. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, with place to or business to place, it is sometimes really hard for us.
Yes.
We can't talk about some of the success that we see as we're working to attract a company here. And it could be a 12-month cycle time. It could be a 3-year, a 5-year cycle time to encourage a company to come here because they want, it takes a lot of human effort and capital to move an entire organization.
Yes.
They have to believe in the place where they're moving. So the stories that you help share through 3CDC or our friends at the Chamber, through Cincinnati Experience, those are the things that we're able to put in front of companies and say, this is why you're coming here.
Yeah.
These are the people that will become your people. So I get that. But the showing the results sometimes takes time, particularly in our seat.
It does take time. But I also think, and this is kind of maybe a little off topic, but I also think it's one of those things where when you think about the human experience and you think about what we're doing, we are not saving lives, right? Like the content that we create might not be saving lives, but we have to find the impact in everything we do. So even if it's working on this amazing opportunity with the Cradle of Coaches documentary, right? Like not saving any lives, but we get to help tell these amazing stories of coaches that have passed away and this legacy that comes out of Miami University. And maybe the immediate impact isn't there all the time. Like you can see how many people are engaging with the content we're putting on Instagram. But at the end of the day, this documentary is going to help bring in funds to help with scholarships, right? So it's like the work that we're doing maybe doesn't have a 1-to-1 ratio.
It's more the soft touch.
It's a soft touch. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's all those little things. But I mean, we also do great work for people like the Mangine Foundation, like the Matthew Mangine Foundation, the One Shot Foundation, right? So you can see immediate impact there versus somewhere else. But there's always a feel good. You can find a feel good if you're looking for the feel good.
So 2 things out of all of that. First of all, the comment that you made, we're not saving lives. I can remember early on in my career, my boss at the time made that comment to me, and it helps you put things in perspective.
Totally.
So that just goes back to your earlier position on leadership and grace and letting people know if you mess up, we're not saving lives.
We're not saving lives. I want you to mess up.
Yeah.
I
Learn.
want
Learn
that.
from that.
Yeah, just learn from it. Recover. Figure out how it is that you have to recover. Figure out what it feels like to fail. It's okay to fail. I fail all the time. Are you kidding me? I fail all the time. I still fail. I'm almost 44. Oh God. But
I just turned 50. So
well, you look hot, girl.
I'm the oldest one in this studio and this building today.
You look hot. You look hot. But how many times do you fail? I fail all the time. I fail all the time in every aspect of my life. But it's a matter of like how I figure out how to get past it. Or, and you know, my husband is great about it. He's like, it doesn't kill you, and everything always works out.
Yeah,
it just does.
Yes,
it'll work out.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And then the second thing you mentioned while we were talking was the firehouse. I don't know if your whole audience knows that you operate out of a firehouse.
We do.
Right?
It's cool looking.
So share a little bit about that.
Yeah. The firehouse, Scott and Leanne are the third owners. It was the city of Cincinnati, an architectural engineer of sort. His name is
In the
Drew.
great city of Norwood.
Yeah, in the great city of, well, actually it's Evanston.
It's
We're
Evanston?
In Evanston.
In Evanston. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a tiny pocket there. Yeah, I'm really terrible at the history. I told people one time that there were horses that were downstairs, and the reason that the windows were so high is so that they could look out of them. And I said it in front of Scott, and he was like, were they fucking giraffes? And I was like, fair enough. I don't know. So don't ask me history on this place. I mean, I know it's super old.
It's great.
A lot of original woodwork going on here. It's a cool space. We do have a fire pole. So
Do you use this?
nobody here has ever used it.
Not even Scott?
No, nobody.
That's
Nobody.
interesting. Okay. Well,
It's dangerous looking. I mean, I was like, oh, I'll go down it. And then I opened the like trap door to see how far down it was. And I'm not a scaredy cat. I love thrill, but damn, I'm not going down that pole.
that's awesome. Well, okay. So back to work and not fire poles.
Not fire poles.
So there's been a lot of change, and you mentioned it a little bit earlier around AI.
Yes.
So a lot of change in tech, a lot of change in the way that content is consumed.
Yeah.
What's one trend that you think we may be looking as marketers, overlooking in the way that we should be marketing around content? I know it's a little bit of a deep.
What I believe for marketers is that video content should be more accessible. And yes, I love that AI exists. And I think that there are a balancing of needs of like AI crafted videos versus something that's more professionally done. And I think that what we are trying to do, and what I hope other people try to do, is make video more accessible. You were talking about it earlier, like Noah is making videos, right? My daughter is making videos. So I don't want us to become irrelevant. So we have to evolve. So I think that now what Resolve is trying to do is say, hey, let's just be more economical and let's be smart about the content that we're providing you. No longer are the days of hiring a video production company where you're spending a lot of money and you're getting that one piece of content. I want everyone to know that it's possible to be smart, be strategic, have a partner to plan the content with you, and have them think about what that content looks like at the end of the day. So you're not just getting one or two pieces of content. This podcast alone, if it's an hour long, can be chopped up into 12 different pieces of content.
Sure.
So that's what I hope people realize. And I think that the way that we can be quicker and more economical is if we continue to adopt AI workflows. And this is something that I think that Resolve is trying to do, and I think other people should try to do, is to find that person within your organization to be a champion of AI.
Yes.
So that everyone's not running around with their heads cut off, but that there's one person that you can go to and say, you be our champion, you be our leader, and you help guide us through this new wave of technology, because it's not going away. And I don't think we're losing our jobs. I'm not saying
I don't
that.
either.
I think there's a beautiful marriage between the two, but I want everyone to have that champion within every workspace to say, how do we work smarter? How do we then provide that value back to our clients? Because, this podcast alone, Cooper found a tool that can chop it up and do what it needs to do in way less time than it took him to do by himself.
Yeah.
That is what I want. I want smart people thinking about how we can bring in this new technology.
And people still need to look at it, verify it, validate it, make sure it's going to resonate.
Correct.
That is not going to be AI or machine learning.
No.
So, and I think, for me strategically, because I am a small private nonprofit,
Yes.
my budgets are fairly small. I
Yes.
always have to think strategically, like, yes, I'm not producing just one video. What are the different bites of the apple that I'll get
Yeah. Oh, I like
with this
that.
one video?
Can I borrow that?
Of course.
The different bites of the apple. I use
Yeah.
different flavors. I like
Yeah,
that. Okay.
So, being able to position it through YouTube with my digital advertising
Yes.
campaigns, with my search campaigns, with my LinkedIn lead gen,
Yeah.
I'm having to think about all those different ways.
Yeah.
And from an AI perspective, I think your point about a champion, Reddy's research team led by Jennifer Thomas, she and Blake Weimer are always thinking about AI and workflow, and we're sending them and we're trying to educate our team. We just sent Jay to a marketing focused AI conference.
Great.
And he's
Yeah.
bringing back the best practices. So yeah, I mean, we're trying to think about how we
Yeah.
incorporate that too.
Yeah.
All right. So I have put you in the hot seat way long enough, and you've done phenomenal.
How did I do?
You did awesome. So just probably my final closing question.
Okay.
You mentioned that your cheer coach,
Mm-hmm.
we were joking a little bit offset that you still have a lightsaber, and
Yeah.
maybe your son's getting a little old and you're not doing lightsaber
Yeah.
fights anymore.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
what role do the non-work parts of your life like this play into your creativity?
Oh my gosh. My poor husband, I'll just say that first of all. There's actually a hashtag poor George. Hashtag poor George. He also understands my freight train speed. And he has been the best sidekick for it all and lets me just embrace I think I can do that. Just, what do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think I could go do that? And
Your backpacking trip that you decided to go on?
yes, I did do that. I backpacked the Appalachian Trail and the Grand Canyon. But he supports it all. So I get to do all these crazy things. And I also want to just say that my parents were the kind of parents that were like, you can do whatever you want. Just go do it. Right. That's the kind of parents I grew up with. So the support system and the you can do whatever you want has created this, which is this evil
No.
volunteeraholic. But I love it. I love being able to say that, I jumped into the Golden Bear cheer program when it was 12 kids, kindergarten to 8th grade. And now it's over 90 girls.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that, some of those girls, and one in particular this year, who's an 8th grader, was like, cheer, gross. I'd never do that. And she loves it. And I did make her apologize to me. And she loves it. And she has found a whole new creative outlet. And who am I to be leading cheerleaders? That's not what I had in my bingo
you are
card,
one of our
but-
region's cheerleaders,
Right.
just saying.
But I definitely did not have that on my bingo card. But what I have found is that it is a way to keep me creative. It is a way to keep me grounded. It is a way to be okay, I don't even know how to put this into words. It's just weird. I'm producing a feature film documentary. That is cool. That is kick-ass. That is amazing. But also I'll go to cheer and they're like, Mrs. Herron, we don't like this dance. It's kind of garbage. Can we redo it? And I'm like, man, that is a humbling experience when you get yelled at by some 14-year-olds, right? Like they keep you humble. They keep you grounded. They keep you informed. I know a lot of things that I wasn't sure I would know otherwise. Yeah. And, I'm running my kids around, right? Like they don't care about my role here. They don't care what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, they just want to be supported and loved. And I do think I'm raising some independent children though, because I'm like, Mom does not have time for this BS. Like you guys got to figure this out on your own. So time will tell. That'll be a case study on its own. But yeah, they keep me grounded.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you today for
Oh
for letting me
gosh.
pick your brain and
Thank you.
really
You should have your own podcast. Can
really
we like say
show
that?
your audience who you are and the phenomenal job that you do every day. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. You should have your own podcast. Just saying, you're really good at this.
Oh
You're
yeah.
really good at this.
I'll just come in and hang out on the sidelines
Okay,
whenever.
good. Yeah. Come join the Drew Barrymore couches anytime you want.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today on Rediscover Your Story by Resolve. We're here to slow things down, swap ideas, and connect with people who care about storytelling as much as results. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe to our podcast for more insightful stories worth slowing down for. You never know whose story Resolve will help rediscover next.